Hey everyone, I hope you guys are having an amazing day. Today I'm going to talk about my year 6 experience as part of a series about grades 1 to 13. I'm going to link a playlist down below of the grades I did so far. So if you haven't checked out those videos, it would be great if you watch them and just tell me what you did during that time if you remember it. Also, on this video, the question of the day would be, what did you do during 6th grade, or do you have any special memories associated with 6th grade? At the age of about 12, I moved from Munich to Prague due to my dad's work, and I started attending the British International School here. I later on went on to move to the international and then to the German school, but that's a whole different story. Today I'm going to talk about one of the memories I had from year 6. Well, first of all, the subjects I used to enjoy around that time were geography, performing arts, art, English, and history to some extent. In English, we had this project where we had to come up with to write a book pretty much, and this was the first book I ever wrote. It's well, basically my computer teacher and my English teacher sort of collaborated on it, so it was the first project using a computer. I couldn't use any computers around that time, and yeah, it was just a written project. So we went to a first grade and talked to the kids there. I think it was it the kindergarten or first grade? Yeah, it was the first grade, I think. And we talked to the kids there, and each one of us had one person to work with. I worked with this really sweet Korean kid who used to live in the same street as I did. So of course, when we entered the classroom, he was really active, so all of a sudden he's like, I want to work with Anna, you know, as they were dividing up the groups. So of course I worked with him, and basically what it was, like, the research consisted of just talking to the kids and reading to them, or in some cases they read their favorite books to us. And yeah, later on, I thought it would be kind of nice to use him as a character in my book. So I named one of the characters Yang Rei after him. And actually, later on, he was about, how old was he? Like 5 years old, and he knew IT related issues so well that he would help me out. Like, if my laptop or if my computer broke down, he would help me out, and he knew some things that, like, most adults don't know, and he used to type really, really quickly. Why did I just make this motion? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm gonna present this book now. I'm just gonna read it, and yeah, I also illustrated it a bit. There's a lot of repetition, like a children's book. I would do a lot of things in a different way nowadays, of course. Oh, I also have the rough draft for it, which is ridiculous, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm just gonna start. Once upon a time, Max came to school with his new football. He put the football in a corner where the football lay quietly waiting until playtime, because in the playtime the children gathered around it and started arguing who would play with it first. Here's the first illustration. You can see like a little rabbit on the side and some cars. And there's Max with a football in the center. Oh, and there's also like this little frog jumping up. After the teams were sorted out, there was a hard kickoff, and the football which was very much afraid of heights, flew over the heads of the children and landed in the goalkeeper's gloves. The keeper kicked the ball back into the field. So here's the second picture. Some bugs. Ow! It hurts. Help! And there's like, what is this? A grasshopper, I think. Yep. After the playtime, the new leather football looked almost as nice as at the beginning, but his body was aching. The second day was like the first, but the football had even stronger pain. On the third day, Max played football with his friends again. For 1 week, for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks. One day, the football flew over the children's heads, and higher, higher than ever, and that's the drawing for that. This dog dreaming of a bone, I think. Landed on the roof of the school building. This was the best shot ever made during a football game. But now the football lay on the roof, looking down at the children and being afraid of height, with tears in his eyes. Young Ray decided to climb the wall to reach the ball, but the teacher didn't allow him. So here's the little football stuck up on the roof. Young Ray was Max's friend and the best football player at his school. Max and their teammates were angry because they didn't have another football to play with. There also was an empty tin can lying in not far from the playground. I just realized the mistakes now. He spent his days watching the children play. So that's young Ray playing with his friend. And at the top you can see the trash can. The can was old and dirty, and he always wished to be like the football, nice, popular, and not so lonely. Now at last his dream came true. The children started playing with him, while the football still lay on the roof. So that's the can, and he's dreaming about, kids playing with him. The can felt proud that the children played with him. But then he got squashed and wasn't able to roll anymore. Young Ray, Max's friend, was very happy because his sister Jaemin brought him a new football. So the old can was thrown away into a garbage bin, which received him with a smile. So that's the picture for that. That's the can, sort of thinking about the successes, and that's the new football arriving, and the can feeling a bit sad about that. The bin put him into a big room where a soggy old football was already waiting for him. The football had fallen after a rainy day from the roof right into the bin. "I wanted to be as lonely as you," said the football to the can. "And I always wanted to be as popular as you," answered the can. "Now we're both happy friends and not getting kicked around the AstroTurf." That's the picture for that. If you find an old can or an old football, put them into a bin, for the bin is happy to receive friends. The end. That's a teddy bear with a football. That's the bin. It was extremely happy, obviously. And I don't know, like at the top you just have colorful stuff. And that's the back cover. About the author. Anna Kakabadze was born in 1984 in Tbilisi. She lived for 5 years in Georgia and 4 years in Germany. She lives now in Prague. This is her first book and she has enjoyed working on it. I hope that all the readers will have fun reading this book. Oh, and if you're interested, I don't know, I also found the rough draft for it, which is kind of... That's the rough draft. Oh my god. See? Wow, my handwriting was terrible and yeah. Oh my god. Well, that's pretty much the rough version of it, I guess. So that's the front cover and that's the back cover. And the can says always put me into the bin. And the football says, if I'm old and broken, don't drop me. Put me into the bin, please. And the bin says, I'm happy to receive friends. Okay, so I don't know. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this one and I'll see you around.